All right, welcome on back. It's time for Daybreak and 10 on Color 10.
We are on the air with you commercial free for 10 straight minutes, beginning right now, and we'll get started with meteorologist Elisa Rafa. Elisa, we have been following some flooding concerns all morning. How are things looking out there right now?
A little bit better as some of the rain is exiting. We still have that flash flood watch going until 10. I don't expect it to be extended farther than that. We still have a tropical depression. That's what the National Hurricane Center is still calling Cristobal as it rolls through the Ozarks this morning, moving very quickly to the north at 25 miles per hour. Springfield is coming out of the rain right now with the rain exiting to the north and east. Some of the heavier rain is up in central Missouri, but we still have a flash flood warning in parts of Christian and Taney counties where Bull Creek has been a concern this morning. But the last of the rain working its way to the north and east, and it should exit by noon. But a soaking wet start on the roads. Be careful for some of that ponding and urban flooding. We could find some storms as we head through the afternoon. We've got a marginal risk there for maybe some quarter-size hail or 60-mile-per-hour winds if the storms can develop to begin with. You can see Futurecast keeps things pretty quiet once Cristobal exits. We'll have some clouds and breezy winds overnight tonight, a few showers and breezy winds again tomorrow. So here's the rundown of what to expect. Be careful for the ponding this morning. Cristobal works on exiting. We'll have some gusty winds overnight tonight and into tomorrow. That's where we've got a wind advisory that takes effect and goes until noon on Wednesday. Joe?
All right, Elisa, you say that it exits at noon. That's still a long way away, so flooding will continue to be a concern. We've already got multiple inches of rain in certain spots this morning. Can you tell us where that's exactly expected to get worse later today?
Yeah, I think right now we've got the problem spots in central Missouri, but we'll continue to find residual flooding through the day because we've had many totals over 2 inches on already saturated areas. So we've got to check out for some of those flooding conditions. We've got team coverage for you this morning with Nigel McDonald, who's been live in Springfield all morning, and Jacob Blunt has been live for us in Taney County. Both of them have been checking out some flooding conditions. We're going to start with Nija. Nija, as the rain is starting to clear in Springfield, what have you been seeing out there this morning?
Well, Lisa, good morning. Yes, the rain has stopped here. However, it's very windy, if you can't already tell by my hair blowing. But yes, it seems like there's still a few puddles collected on the roads that I can see. We're here on top of a parking garage, kind of able to get the entire view. The clouds around the area are very, very dark. So I just would recommend this morning that before you head out, that you go ahead and take a look at that MoDOT Traveler's Map. There's a lot of activity going on there. While it may not be raining right now here in Springfield, I know there are several roads that are experiencing flooding and partial closures, so that is something that you need to be mindful of this morning. Again, never try to drive through standing water. Remember, turn around, don't drown. Back to you in the studio.
Thank you, Nija. We've also had Jacob Blunt, who has been in Taney County, where I know you've covered some of those dam releases and the river flooding the last couple of weeks. What have you seen this morning where you still have a flash flood warning in effect?
Yes, Lisa, we're down here by Bull Creek, right down from the Bull Creek Village. Now, we're keeping an eye on the water levels to keep an eye on the flooding since we're under flash flood warning in parts of Taney and Christian County. Now, from what I've seen, the water stayed pretty consistent. It hasn't gone up and it hasn't gone down, even though the rainfall has stopped within the last hour. We've even seen some sunshine peek through as we've walked along Bull Creek here. Now, Bull Creek is going to funnel into Taney-Como, which is going to funnel into Bull Shoals eventually. And now we do have problems because the ground is very saturated. That could lead to runoff. It could lead to debris, which do cause water levels to rise. Now, we will be in contact with the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers to see their plans for releases on Bull Shoals Dam later today, and we'll keep you updated with that. Now, back to you guys in the studio.
All right, thank you, Nija and Jacob. Don't forget, the Color 10 weather app brings you all the updates you need to know. It's got radar, it's got forecast models, it's got more. It's all on your smartphone. Search Color 10 Weather over in the App Store. Moving on to some breaking news for you out of Pulaski County. A multiple vehicle wreck on I-44 near mile marker 158 shut down both westbound lanes for hours this morning. That's according to the Doolittle Rural Fire Protection District. It happened just before 1 a.m. Authorities are reporting 10 vehicles were involved in the crash, including more than one semi that rolled over. No word yet on any injuries, and we're going to continue to follow this, and we'll give you the updates as we get them.
The COVID-19 pandemic is still canceling and delaying events, and with that in mind, the Girl Scouts of the Missouri Heartland are bringing the outdoors inside. We spoke to the group's community relations specialist, Kelsey Connor, and she says the organization had to cancel all in-person summer camp sessions this year, and that was not an easy decision for them. But thinking outside the box, the group is offering in-home camps. Girls can sign up for any number of 4 weeks of activities. The registration started last week, and the camp begins on July 5th.
We're essentially just trying to make it as normal of a camp experience as we possibly can. Just because it's at home, you know, we wanted to still give them the camp experience that they would have had this been a traditional year.
There will be activity packages delivered to the girls' doors for each week with a different theme each of those 4 weeks. Leadership, mentoring, and socializing with friends will still be available through Zoom.
We need to put crime into focus for you now. A man who hit and killed a Nixa woman while running from police over 2 years ago is expected to be sentenced today. In April of 2018, Tommy Morris Jr. was caught in an attempted drug deal in Springfield, then took off. He ran a red light and crashed into a tree, and crashed into 3 cars, killing Dana Sowards. Back in January, Morris was convicted by a judge of second-degree murder and 2 felony drug charges. He faces 3 different life sentences.
The city of Springfield is hosting a follow-up information session on the Fast Night Creek Stormwater Project tonight. The session is happening from 6 to 7 at the Springfield Art Museum. This will be a combined in-person and virtual event with limited capacity in the museum. The plan calls for restoration of the creek to a naturalized channel in hopes of reducing the risk of flooding to the art museum and surrounding homes.
And speaking of art museums, it will reopen today to limited walk-in traffic for some exhibits. People will be able to view 5 exhibits, including the Watercolor USA exhibit during normal business hours. Additional safety guidelines are in place with monitored occupancy numbers and hand sanitizing stations. High-touch surfaces will also be cleaned immediately after contact with visitors. Now let's take a look at what's coming up for you on CBS This Morning.
Coming up, we're in Houston with special coverage of George Floyd's funeral service. Plus, we talk with filmmaker Spike Lee about racism, protests, and his new film about black soldiers who fought in Vietnam. Coming up on CBS This Morning.
All right, we take a look at what's trending for you and what's happening this morning. The WHO is releasing a preliminary report talking about asymptomatic people and spreading the coronavirus. They're saying that...
So they don't show symptoms. You said it's very rare for a person to spread it if they don't show symptoms, correct?
If you're asymptomatic, yeah, you're not showing those classic symptoms that we've told you about for months now, the fever, the shortness of breath, and a cough right there, and the WHO is saying that that is, quote, very rare.
That's good news. I also read this morning that in Singapore, more than half of the new cases they're seeing now are not showing symptoms, so learning this new information that it's less likely to spread, I think that is good news that you're not spreading as much.
Always important to get the progress that we're getting with that, so
Absolutely.
Good to see the updates from them for sure. We take a look. Look, the back end of this 7-day is great. Today's going to be a little tough, right?
We've got some of that heavy rain this morning. I actually got a really fun storm report of rain in a little unicorn pool that filled up overnight from all the Cristobal remnants. So just be careful. There's ponding and flooding out there this morning. Some showers tomorrow and then sunshine on the back half.
All right, everyone, thank you so much for watching us here on Daybreak. Don't forget, ozarksfirst.com and the weather app.